Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's segment of readings. Um, this is on James 13 Wicca on YouTube, in case you're not seeing it there. For the main tarot, I'm going to use Wild Reflections Tarot deck by Spell. And there is a website on the back here. I believe it's there, yspell.com. It's in the center over here. There we go. If you're interested. That's what we have for the tarot deck. The oracle cards I'm going to use are Sacred... Okay, can't hold it. Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. It's hard to read it backwards. By Denise Lynn. Where's the websites for Denise? I think it's on the back of the book. So it's at the end of her paragraph where you see her face, that yellowish box. It's at the bottom of it. DeniseLynn.com if you want to check her out. And I also use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool. 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element. It's from the Dice Shop. The website there is mathartfun.com. I don't know if it's showing up. I don't know if you can see mathartfun.com. Hopefully you can. mathartfun.com. Alright, that being said, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. That being said, let's get into your reading. Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Virgo? Excuse me. The energy you're walking away from, are you walking away from it? Or is it something that set the standard? You got the devil in the past, but it might be working to your advantage. Virgo is one of those energies that can work with that energy, because the devil talks about strict boundaries that doesn't have a lot of compassion for those who break the rules, if that makes sense. I feel like that's going to work in your favor. It's one of those things, myself as a tarot reader anyway, I don't just assign like static bad good for each card. Some of them tend to be more negative than positive, definitely. Even the Ten of Swords once in a while has its upside. Once in a while, depending how it's coming into a spread. So just because there's a negative card or negative perceived card doesn't mean that it's bad per se for you. You're moving on from something. I get that. But something set the standard here. Now, again, the devil has a lot of depth to it. And there's a lot of different levels and meanings. Sometimes it talks about Capricorn energy. It doesn't have to be about somebody who is literally a Capricorn, just to be fair. But that's an energy that's compatible with Virgo, typically. You know, just base Virgo with base Capricorn. Virgo goes along with Capricorn usually and is kind of like, once I understand the rules, as long as the rules are honorable, I can run with this. But this is something you moved on from. I need a little bit more from that. Because other people might look at it like, oh, that was horrible. And you might not even like it looking back at it. You might not look back at it with a fond memory. But it might have set the standard for you in the sense of like, this is how this works. If I do it this way, this works out. It was very fast when it did happen. And it's over. Whatever it is, I feel like whatever it was, it ended and it ended fast. You got the Death card with the Eight of Wands and the Devil card. Like something here set the standard. You benefited from it. Might be one of those things where you made, had the lemons, made the lemonade, something about sour grapes. I don't know what that saying is. I don't know where else to go with that, because I get that you moved on from it. And you don't seem to have to go back you don't seem to go back to it. You're not returning back to it. You moved from it. You learned a lot that most people don't understand because they didn't go through what you went through. Now, there's a connection coming in going forward. And this from the past is affecting your future. I really don't see anything bad coming in from the future, just to be fair, just the way it feels. And no, none of these cards are really bad for Virgo. But so Ace of Cups is in question. And something's coming in is it coming in fast, or is it the next level, the access to the next level? It's like, it's almost like working at a company for years and then getting involved in a new project and then getting access to places where I'm like, oh, I can be a part of the executive meeting? Really? I mean, I guess it would be good to know what's going on there. That's interesting. It kind of feels like that. It's kind of like, oh, I get to, okay, all right, I guess so. If there's things I can learn there, things that can help me, all right, I'll pay attention to that. I'll do that. I'm getting access to something and I'm questioning, like, am I supposed to be here? I keep feeling that, like, am I supposed to be here? Like, are you sure? It's kind of like, whatever part of the bill, it's like, oh, this is for the owners. I'm not an owner. How, okay. Sure. Are you sure I'm supposed to be here? I keep getting that over and over. Are you sure I'm supposed to be here? But then again, it's the grace of Virgo, in my opinion. I know a lot of Virgos. I got a few in my family. I got really good friends, a really close friend that's a Virgo. Like, I'm telling you, I know a lot of Virgos. I'm just saying, there's just like this kind of like soak it up as it comes energy that comes on sometimes. And I feel like I'm like, all right, I'll kind of just see what happens from this. I'll absorb what there is to learn here. Okay, let's see how it goes. You're taking it like, well, maybe this will benefit me more later. Maybe this will make more sense later. I keep looking at that. Like right now, I'm like, are you sure I'm supposed to be here? And okay, I don't understand why, but all right. And I'm soaking up the energy. I'm soaking up the information. I'm paying attention to what's around me. I feel like you're very kind of like, I don't expect to be here again, so I guess I'm just going to soak it up for what it is. What is this? Is something getting out of your way? Is something opening doors without letting you know why? There's a reason. There's definitely a reason. And I don't mean like just in like universal spiritual, because obviously I feel like that's obviously there. But like there's a reason, like somebody physically knows, mentally knows what they're doing and where they're putting you and why they're putting you there. Like somebody has some type of plan going on here. And they're trying to create a situation where stability has a chance. They're trying to create a situation where stability has a chance. Normally, in my opinion, Virgos are usually known for being stable, even though I'm like, am I saying it wrong? Is that why I'm tripping over it? Very reserved, I feel like Virgos are. But I also feel like, they're typically more like even keel. I'm trying to like think of the ones I know. They're typically like what you see is what you get, in my opinion. Like they're consistent. I don't know what else I'm looking for there, because the ones I'm just like cycling through in my brain, what you see is what you get, in the sense of like the chill energy. I think Virgos are typically chill, typically. Hard workers, but like they're more interested in what they need to get done, and they're kind of, I feel like they're easy to get along with. I do. And I'm saying that as a Pisces, and Pisces or Virgos are opposites. So what is, I'm trying to get like more, like I want to know. Oh, the answers are there. The answers are there. How do I put this? Ask the questions that you don't think you should be asking. Like, you don't want to be flat out rude, so I don't want to say ask the rude question. Like, I'm not saying be rude. I don't think that sounds right. But ask the question you're like, I don't think that's my place to ask that. Ask it anyway. You'll find the answers you're looking for. Notice that the answers are not hidden from you once you ask. If you ask, the answers come your way, and this will be a lot better for you. I just keep ask the questions you don't think you should be asking. It's something like that. It's kind of like, oh, that's that person's business. That's not my business. but ask the question anyway, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like most Virgos can find a way to like comfortably get it in there fairly. Ask the questions. It's almost like, I'm making dinner, they're cleaning the front yard, and it's kind of like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna, put the leaves in those bags, those decorative bags, or if they're gonna just like put it over there and let it get mulched. But I guess it's not my business. Maybe I shouldn't ask because I prefer they mulch it. Um, Ask anyway. Ask and give your 2 cents. More will come to you. It'll make better. You'll enjoy this a lot more. It'll make better sense. It'll help you plan better. It really will. Um, because if you do that star card coming in with the answers coming in, just get it out there. Just get the energy out there. It'll give you a lot more to. It's the King of Swords. You'll be able to plan. You'll be able to see where you're going and what people actually want from you. If you don't ask the questions, you won't get the answers. You're just gonna kind of be flying by the seat of your pants, like, oh, I guess this is what we're doing today. It's not gonna make it easy for you. It's gonna be harder because you're not gonna see what's coming next. All you have to do is ask the questions, and it's the questions that I keep getting that you feel like it's not my place to ask. It's those questions. Because if you're willing to do that, there's a couple things that happen. One, you're able to see where you're going and you can plan better. Two, people feel like you're invested. And they feel like, it's like you're on board, you're on team, you're a part of the group. By asking those questions, I don't think anybody's, I don't know, I shouldn't say that. People who have like, let's just call them insecurities, might have an issue and might be a little rude, but those are probably the problem people anyway. The people who actually are good people, who see the point, who see where you're going, they'll like it. They'll connect to you. If you're asking these questions and some people are rude to you, just make note of it, because not everybody will be. Just make note of it and work with it as you need to. But don't let that shut you down. Don't let that stop you, because you can get a lot deeper into this in a positive way. Getting through the cave here. It's not a cave. What is that? It feels like I'm coming out of the cave. I'm going into this valley. I think it's on the inside of a castle, like looking out a castle window, but I keep feeling like I'm coming out of a cave. I don't think that's what this picture is supposed to be, but I keep feeling like I'm coming out of the cave. I'm coming out of the darkness. I'm coming out of the depths, and I'm seeing what the land has to offer. It's better if you know that this moment is coming. Because there's going to be a moment where your card comes in, the Hermit card. That's the Virgo card. You're going to be in your power moment. It's going to be hard, though, if you didn't see it coming. It's just going to be hard. I just keep getting that. Because you want to make a good decision. That's what you're known for, thinking it out, deciding what you really want. That's what Virgo is typically known for. So if you don't see it coming, it's going to slow you down. It could end up causing a bottleneck, if you will, and you'll kind of get stuck for a minute. And I feel like I feel like there's a lot of pressure here. I feel like I'm afraid I'm letting people down, or that people might be second guessing if they should have let me come into this situation. There's a lot of anxiety that comes in for you, is what I get. But if you're able to go in, you ask those questions, and you start connecting with people, even though some people might be rude, you don't let that hold you down. If you're willing to go that direction. See, it's the history, the Six of Cups. It's history of a situation. If you know some of the history, you'll just keep moving, because you'll already know. It's like if you know 3 months ahead of time, this opportunity is coming your way, you'll have more than enough time to just sort out what you really do and really, really don't want. And then when it's time, you'll just start naturally going towards it. You'll just keep moving in that direction. It won't be that difficult. It'll be easier for you to literally enjoy the journey too. Just also remember, I think this is another level of this. Also remember to keep moving. So if you see it coming and you already know where you're going to go, keep building the momentum, keep moving, keep going, keep moving. So it's kind of like, you're going to get the opportunity. So if we make it really simple, we don't make it about business. Say you're going to get a house. Somebody's going to give you the money for a house. Something's coming your way. You're going to get the choice to own a house or not. This offer is coming your way. So it comes. You've already decided you want it. We're just, for argument's sake, you want it. So it's like once it starts, you're like, all right, every day I'm going over, I'm cleaning up a little bit of this, I'm cleaning up a little bit of that. I keep moving in that direction. I keep refining it. I just keep moving in that direction. Even if it was a business situation, say 3 months from now, you got 5 different offers. You know you're gonna get 5 different possibilities. You can go 5 different directions. 3 of them were good. 2 of them you were like, no, that wasn't gonna happen. And out of the 3, you knew what one you wanted. All right, so you chose the one you wanted. It's because you knew ahead of time. You know which one of the 3 you actually wanted. So as you choose, then like, all right, now try to connect with people who work in that job. Try to learn more ahead of time. Try to see what are the scheduling for that. Where do they park? What else do they do? It doesn't have to be like going crazy, but every day touch on it. Grab a little bit more information. Put it down in your benefit. Keep moving. That's this temperance card. It's saying not only can you know ahead of time. If you know ahead of time, you'll know where you want to go. Once it starts, start building that momentum. It could be just the first day, or just finding out the names of the people in the unit, for example, if it's a job thing. The next day, you're kind of saying, well, what hours do they typically work? Do they eat lunch together or not? Every day, like, do they have a food day once a month? Stuff like that. So every day, just keep it moving, and you just like, what type of things do they do? Do they do with customers? Do they deal with internal people? What do they do? What will I be doing? What's the first thing that I'll probably learn? Can I start getting ahead on that now? Do I have to wait for the class to start, or can I get some information ahead of time? It doesn't have to be boatloads of stuff, but like a little bit every day. This can be a breeze for you. This can literally be a breeze for you, going like that route. That's the advice. Well, that's the possibility. Because I get that if you're able to do that, especially, there is a lot that comes in with this situation, whatever it is. But if you've already grabbed little pieces and put them together and realized where they fit, and you're a little bit ahead on the information, a little bit ahead about how things are going to need to be done, a little bit ahead about, okay, this is random and that's always random, and I'm already preparing myself for that. A little bit ahead on this, a little bit ahead on that. It's gonna kind of flow with you better. It's like, especially if you kind of have a heads up, like, these 3 things are always a little bit random. Okay, so when I see this coming in, I know that's going to be random. So I'm prepared for the randomness. I feel like that makes sense. I'm sure y'all will tell me in the comments if it doesn't, but like, I'm prepared for the randomness. It's kind of like, it's going to be cuckoo. And if I'm prepared for it, it's easier for me to deal with it rather than it just crap. It's kind of like walking into a preschool is what I'm getting. So like, we're going to use Virgo as an example. If you're walking into a preschool, you know there's going to be some crazy things. Like, it's just going to be, some things are just going to be random. And knowing you're walking into that versus like, I thought I was going to walk into just a library versus a preschool. I thought I was going to walk into a library. Like, I expect the library to be quiet and people to be doing what they need to be doing. Versus a preschool, if I was expecting a library and end up in a preschool, I feel like that's going to be like, oh, I wasn't prepared for that. It does go fast. When you get into it, it is very quick. It does go very fast, but if you're ready, I'm getting it's a real breeze. If you see it coming and you're prepared for it, the first day or 2 of whatever this is, it may not be the most comfortable, but it won't be like upsetting. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. First day or 2, it won't be comfortable. It will not be comfortable. No matter what version we go, it won't be. But it's like if you go the other way and you're just kind of like, well, we'll see what happens. I feel like the first couple days, possibly the first couple weeks, are very upsetting. If you're kind of going with the flow here, asking those questions, grabbing pieces of information and moving, the first couple days, uncomfortable, not upsetting. Like uncomfortable, like, oh, I don't really like how this works, but I'm getting used to it, so we'll see what I can do with it. And after a couple days pass, you're like, all right, I can do this, I'm fine. Versus the other thing, like, I don't know what to do. It's like, it's just, I feel like it's just bam. The other way is just like bam. Because you got the King of Wands, the Page of Wands, Uncovering Treasure coming in. Those were the cards. I didn't say their titles when I was there. You're there for a reason. So certain things are not meant to change, and certain things are. With yours, one of the reasons you're here is somebody wants assistance with this. I get the Justice with the Two of Swords. There's certain things that people want to stay where they are. And I feel like they're going to angle you towards those things. So some of this is going to be random. It's just how it is. But there's certain things that they want, certain things. Like they want the kids to stay in this room and stay on this, down this wing. They don't want them coming out. They want them to mostly stay in this room, always stay in that room if possible, but to not go outside of this certain area. So it's kind of like, you're like, okay, I understand that. And you will work diligently to keep the randomness in this area, in this one area. Even if some other people are like, well, we could move it to this part of the building, or we could put it on the third floor. It's on the first floor now, but we could put it on the third. And then the point of you being in this position would be to be kind of like, well, I have this under control on the first floor. And the way these kids are, if I have windows, like I'm going to have to lock those windows. I'm going to have to bar the stairs because they're hard to keep control of. It's better if I can keep them on the first floor, because if they, for some reason, open a window, I don't have to worry about somebody passing away. And I don't have to worry about stairs because it goes right outside. So it's better it's safer. And I feel like that's one of the reasons they want you, because like you can like not only keep it where it is, but give reasons why it's better to stay where it is. What are these two? Answering the call and rejuvenating. I think I just kind of added this in. It's kind of like, this is why you're here. There's certain things that they don't want to change. The person or the people bringing you into this position, they do not want to change. And they're feeling like once you see it their way, and once you get comfortable with it a certain way, you'll help them back up that, no, this is on the first floor. We should not move it to the third floor. And this is why. And they feel like you'll be a great asset to help them with that type of thing. I mean, that's an analogy, but that's the purpose. That's why. Done? Done. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.